What is going on, guys? Cy the Guy here. Welcome to the Go Home Show Tavern. As always, no fluff, no filter, no BS. That's what you're going to get here on this channel. We will be talking about last night's episode of AEW Dynamite. Unfortunately, it was a big nothing burger. I was hoping to be sold. I was hoping to be sold on the pay-per-view they got coming up. It was the Go Home Show that we'll be talking about on the Go Home Show. I'm going to start off with, you can call it a rant, maybe, mild rant, especially compared to when I was discussing the whole Pat McAfee garbage. Excuse me. This is for Tony Khan. TK, my boy TK. Tony, we got to talk, bro. You have been gifted by the wrestling gods an opportunity that doesn't ever come around. In fact, it hasn't come around since 1997 when Eric Bischoff was kicking WWE's ass for 83 weeks in a row. Okay? This opportunity has been presented to you, and it seems like you could care less and you don't want to take advantage of said opportunity. You know, on my SmackDown review where I discussed the Pat McAfee situation and this whole TKO WWE thing going on, I mentioned that this was Tony Khan's prime opportunity with WWE being brought to their fucking knees, which the ironic part is WWE has been brought to their knees by the very group that owns the company. This is the absurd part. TKO has put WWE in a point where they are on their fucking knees and they're so vulnerable. It's almost like they're, you know, when you got two boxers coming, it's like Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, the last one, right? Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 3. Wilder's out of it, right? He's getting his ass kicked. You got to give the guy props for still being in there. But it's like he knows it's coming. He's waiting for that last knockout shot to come his way. And he knows if it happens, he's out of here. WWE is getting close to that point. But the only issue is there's nobody to give them the final blow. There's nobody to throw that knockout shot, right? Why? Why is Tony Khan not putting AEW in position to deliver the knockout blow to WWE? It's prime real estate that he's in right now. All you have to do, Tony, is get the shows back to where they were in 2019 when everybody was fucking excited to tune in every Wednesday. It was can't miss TV. You didn't know it was going to happen, right? You had the inner circle. You had all these elements, different elements happening on television. You had the Young Bucks. You had the Lucha Bros. I mean, it was exciting stuff. The tag division was one of the best on the planet. The main event scene was cooking. You had Moxley when he first debuted. You had Kenny Omega there. You had Adam Hangman Page in the main event scene. Chris Jericho was still relevant and entertaining. What the fuck happened? What happened to this product? Nobody knows how we got to this point. And now we're at this point where wrestling, professional wrestling, something that you and I both love, right? We're the smart marks, okay? We're the diehards. We're the one that this product should be catering to. But neither, it's almost like they're competing, but neither one wants to win. These two companies that we have here, it's almost like they're competing for second place. And they just keep trying to one up the other with who's worse, right? We have to get out of this funk, man. This cannot be the state that professional wrestling is going to continue to be in. This cannot happen. Tony Khan has to understand the opportunity he has right now with all the negative press that WWE is getting, bringing in all these celebrities, right? Kenny Omega had an interview a few years ago that I touched upon on my SmackDown review, where he mentioned that, at this rate, a couple years from now, WWE's main event at WrestleMania is going to be Logan Paul versus Mr. Beast, because of all these D-list shitty celebrities that they keep bringing in, because they think that's what the audience wants to see. No. What the audience wants to see is simple, guys. It's as simple as can be. The audience wants to see long-term storytelling that makes sense, doesn't insult our fucking intelligence on a weekly basis, right? And we want to see good wrestling matches. Not every match is going to be a 5-star banger unless you're Dave Meltzer, right? Not every match has to be a barn burner, viral moment, like the ones that WWE chases constantly. Not every match is going to be Undertaker Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 25, right? Not every match is going to be Kenny Omega Okada Wrestle Kingdom. Not every match has to be that. But god damn it, just give us long-term storytelling that makes sense, that lines up, doesn't insult our intelligence, makes us want to tune in week to week. And then top it off with at least a decent wrestling match. Is that too much to fucking ask? Why is WWE Creative so inept that WWE Creative doesn't know their fucking how to book themselves out of a paper bag at this point? That creative team should be so fucking ashamed of themselves. And then you watch Unreal and you really, oh my God, is Unreal bad or what? Then you see WWE Unreal and you realize just how bad this shit has gotten. You see some of the things these guys discuss at this fucking round table of garbage. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Nothing will make you hate this fucking product more than watching WWE Unreal. It is some of the worst shit I have watched. It's like they're rage baiting me on purpose. It's like they're like, how are we going to rage bait Cy the Guy with this episode of Unreal? Well, joke's on you, motherfucker, because I don't watch it anymore. I tried to make it through the first couple episodes. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I've never been that irritated with a writing team in my entire life. Well, now I'm shifting the focus like the Eye of Sauron. I'm shifting my focus to AEW's creative. What the fuck, guys? What the fuck are we doing? Why are you wasting this prime opportunity? Why are you letting this opportunity slip by? You need to grab it and you need to take hold of it. You need to grab this opportunity by the fucking balls and tell WWE it's on now. Right? It's on now. And this episode of Dynamite last night is not going to get us there, bro. Last night's Dynamite, it was pretty bad. It was pretty rough. For starters, we'll just start here. Rushing Chris Jericho back and having his first match announced on the go home show to Dynasty. Absurd. That is an absurd decision. Why would you waste his comeback like that? Why not have him debut the Dynamite or enter himself into AEW? Why not have him come back the Dynamite after Dynasty? And then actually take the time to have him build the fucking program with somebody. You know? You're going to have him come back 2 weeks before the pay-per-view. Then we're going to get the announcement of a match the next week, which is the go-home show. You tell me how that's any different from the type of shit WWE is doing. Separate yourself, please. Give us shit that makes sense. Give us something we can sink our teeth into. You think I want to come on here and shit on these shows every week? It's fucking depressing, man. I want to come on here and be able to tell you, man, Dynamite last night was such a great professional wrestling show. I can't wait to cover this shit next week. But no, you got me on here cutting promos like I'm fucking CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. Shoot fucking promos on my YouTube channel because I'm sick of this shit and I want to speak up for everybody else that's a part of the IWC that has to put up with this fucking garbage. And then you pair him up with fucking Ricochet, of all people. Like, I get, right? Ricochet, here's my thing. Ricochet is a damn good professional wrestler. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to in between the ropes, Ricochet can do things only a very select few guys can do in that ring. And one of those things is he'll sell his fucking ass off for whoever he's in there with. So maybe that's their thought process, right? Ricochet's going to sell for Jericho. I could see it. I have heard other creators mention this. I could see that being the case, but I don't give a fuck. The point still stands. Why are you pairing Jericho with Ricochet? We're going to have this match. He just came back last week. And you announced the match fucking, what are we, 4 days before the goddamn pay-per-view. Why? What did you do tonight that's going to make me want to spend $50-$60 on your pay-per-view? Since AEW has to use the somewhat outdated now pay-per-view model, it's more important for you now than ever to sell us on these fucking shows. Why should I pay $50? Not even the UFC costs this much anymore, mind you. UFC's on fucking Paramount Plus now. So you tell me, Tony Khan, why should I pay $50-$60 to watch your pay-per-view? When the shows leading up to it, although they had a good moment here or there, they were not great. The storylines that you're telling currently, not great. Sure. And this is where the AEW crowd will come in. And this is kind of where some of the AEW homers piss me the fuck off. Will there be some banger matches? Banger, right? One of the most overused terms in professional wrestling. Will there be some good matches? I have no doubts. When you have a roster as talented as AEW and WWE, there's going to be some good matches, guys. But that's besides the fucking point. You can have good matches all day long, all week long, all month long. Doesn't fucking matter. If there's nothing to get me to tune in week to week other than, hey, there's going to be a good match, then guess what I'm not going to want to do? I'm going to watch this show against my will. Which it sounds like I'm not alone because the live crowds have been fucking brutal on both shows. Besides maybe Houston on Monday Night Raw this past Monday, these live shows, man, these live crowds are fucking terrible. It's like a funeral. It's like we're at somebody's fucking wake and the casket is open. And, you know, you met the guy 3-4 times and you're just like, this is fucking awkward. I don't want to be here. but your mother fucking dragged you to the funeral. So now you're sitting there having to pretend to be in tears over somebody you barely knew. It's fucking awkward. That's what it's like watching on TV when the crowd's dead as fuck. Why buy tickets if you're just going to sit there and the Judas in my mind. Now that I've become everyone I've ever loved and pushed them all. Like, what the fuck, man? Don't go to the show if that's how you're going to act at the show. Jeez Louise. I didn't even this big nothing burger of a show. I don't even want to. It's just disappointing. It's disappointing. It's Tony Khan's time. This is your time, bro. You are missing out on such a golden opportunity. And this is the shit you give us. Chris Jericho and fucking Ricochet, who after all his years of being in the pro wrestling business, still can't cut a fucking promo. Holy shit. Every time he talks, I want to go to my fucking guy back here behind me and get the biggest fucking mug of ale. Mead. 100 proof from the Viking Age because I don't want to fucking watch this shit. Awful. So we're getting Jericho and Ricochet at Dynasty. That's not going to want to make me pay. That's not going to make me want to pay $60 to watch your show. And then we had, which Ricochet cut a promo, I guess. He mentioned in there how Jericho got in shape, right? Which is good. That's great. Jericho's taking this shit seriously. I'm glad to see it. But Ricochet mentioned how he sings on his cruise ships with his band doing karaoke. Okay. Okay line, I guess. The way he delivered it is fucking terrible. Okay line. And then he says, that's probably where you got your abs from singing. Motherfucker, my 3-year-old toddler can come up with better promos than this. What the fuck was that? But yet you want to insult fans online and get all sensitive when we critique your promo skills, when we critique anything about you. You're the one that's been in the business, man. You tell me why you can't cut a promo then. Jeez Louise, go fucking cry about it. Another thing I want to touch upon with this AEW product, it's funny how the two companies hate each other and they're beefing, right? But it's funny how many similarities they actually have. So if you remember War Games, tell me not, War Games is a fucking dead, overused concept. It's dead. The WWE has beat it to fucking death. We are tired of seeing War Games. Every year, it's just people thrown into the War Games match. Men and women. Doesn't matter. Thrown together, pieced together. And then we even see the same fucking spots every year. How many times is Io going to cover herself with a trash can and jump off the cage, bro? It's dead. It's a dead concept. You know what else is? Well, you know what AEW's equivalent to that is? Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door is as dead a concept as War Games, and they both need to just go the fuck away. Like the same heat Ricochet has, the go the fuck away heat. It does nothing. And then you have a bunch of NJPW guys on your show. That's how bad this show is. I'm holding back my vomit as I'm covering it. You have a bunch of NJPW guys on your fucking show. Nobody knows who they are. It's like you throw them on this show expecting us to care about them right away. That's not. Tony Khan is a wrestling fan. He's a wrestling purist. So him of all people should know that's not how it works. That is not how you get the audience to care about people you're trying to get them to care about. How you get them to care is by booking them in meaningful storylines, booking them in shit that makes sense. And it takes time. That's the problem with Forbidden Door. You have all these people that the American audience doesn't know. And then your response is, well, why don't you go watch? And then, you know, the AEW fanboys, the homers will tell you, why don't you go watch New Japan then? And then you'll find out who that person is. I'm sorry. I'm watching your fucking product right now. I shouldn't have to go out of my way, subscribe to fucking some crazy subscription network to go watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. I shouldn't have to do that to understand what the fuck is going on your show. You know what that's going to do? That's going to take viewers who aren't just AEW homers regardless. Obviously, this video is not made for you if that's you. You know what that's going to do? That's going to make it so those people who do have to do that, there's two outcomes that are going to happen. Either they're going to be like, all right, fuck it, I ain't watching. And then you're just going to lose a viewer completely. Or they're going to go watch these other products that you're telling them to watch. And they're going to enjoy them so much that they're like, wow, this is actually really good. Why the fuck would I go back and watch those guys? I ain't doing that. It makes no sense. It's a dead concept. And then why are the Death Riders still a fucking thing? Why? Why? Why are we still getting the Death Rider shit? It's dead along with Forbidden Door, along with War Games, right? It's the graveyard of shit that needs to just fuck off. Give me a break, man. Then you throw Kenny Omega and MJF. That's your world title match for Dynasty. You throw them out there with like 10 minutes left in the fucking show. We wait all fucking night. All night we waited for these guys to go out there. And Kenny Omega cut a very subpar promo. And you made it so we, the fans who love MJF, he's your top guy in the company by far. You made it so we didn't give a flying fuck about what he had to say at all. It takes a lot of effort to do that, to get us to not give a fuck about MJF. I mean, that is crazy. This segment fell flat. I mean, the promo work was spotty, especially from Kenny. Kenny keeps telling MJF to shake his fucking hand. Shake my hand. You will shake my hand. MJF turns around to sock him one with the dynamite ring. Kenny Omega blocks it, ducks it, whatever the fuck. And then he hits him with the V trigger. And that's it. That's pretty much it. You know, it's not a good show when the best thing on your show was Christian Cage talking about how he banged FTR's moms. Which, by the way, Christian and Edge, they still got it, man. They are fucking awesome. They're fucking awesome on the mic still. I would say I wish they'd go back to WWE, but why would you leave one company who books you like shit just to go to another company that's going to book you like shit? Makes no sense. But I genuinely LOL'd to the point where my eyes were welling up with tears when I saw that segment. But the fact that that's the best segment you have on your go home show, that's not good. It's not a good look, bud. And just one segment does not get me to automatically give a fuck about that match. So Dynamite was a dud. Dynamite was an absolute dud. We'll see how Dynasty goes, man. Like I said, you're going to have banger matches on there. There's going to be a couple of them. Also, another point I want to make. Why the fuck did you give us MJF or not MJF, John Moxley and Will Ospreay before their match? We basically see them have a match. Fucking awful decision making. I don't know. I hope AEW gets their shit together, man. I really hope they get their shit together. I would love to see them go for the fucking throat with WWE, but it ain't happening with this current product, I'll tell you that. So I'm gonna get out of here. I wasted enough time talking about this nothing burger of a show. I will be live tomorrow, probably at some point, and then I'll cover SmackDown on Saturday. See you guys then. Thank you for joining me in the Go Home Show Tavern. Ale's on me, bro. The ale's on me.